This is week 7 of the spring trimester. This week I started painting the figure, and I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but I graduated from a grisaille palette into a limited palette. So the grisaille palette had black, white, and raw umber, which is basically you're just working with values. It's like a black and white painting, but the raw umber lets you mess around with temperature shifts. And the limited palette is introducing color now. So that palette is white, black, cadmium red light, and a yellow ochre. And I think probably later on, once I get more comfortable with color, I'll make a video talking about the limited palette, what that is and the benefits of it, but it's so new to me, I don't want to talk about it yet because I really don't know. And I'm finding color to be really intimidating, but I'm excited just to keep working with it and get more experience with it so I become more comfortable with it. Okay, so the first day, Monday, I transferred my drawing onto the canvas, and then I did that first wash. And so the only color that I used was the shadow color, which was a mixture of, it had black, a lot of red, and just a tiny bit of that yellow ochre. And so with that wash, I was just really correcting the structure of the figure, the drawing, and massing in so you could see the shadow shape, and then you could see a really clear representation of the light shape. Okay, so the next day, the next step was keying the background to the shadow, or finding the value relationship between those two. And when I was applying paint in this stage, I was doing it pretty lightly, not using too much, kind of scumbling it on, especially in the background. And then as I keep working on it, week after week, I'll keep building it up and using thicker and thicker paint as I go. And then the rest of the week, I was really working on massing in color and working in the lights. And so, like I always say, I'm trying to, as I'm starting it, just trying to keep everything really simple, so just finding the big areas, or the big planes of colors. And this being my first color painting, I'm definitely not hating how it's turning out, but I just kind of feel like I don't exactly know what I'm doing with color yet. I felt like with my grisaille paintings, I was getting really comfortable working with that palette, and I felt like every day I just had the confidence to just keep pushing forward, and I knew what I was doing. But with the color palette, I feel like it's just a lot of stop and go because I kind of don't know what I'm doing and not comfortable with using color yet. But I am excited to keep working on it with these coming weeks with this painting, just so I can get more comfortable with it. And for my cast, I finished my transfer drawing. I finished it a lot sooner than I thought I would. It was Tuesday when Magda came by for critique that she said that I should just transfer it because the simple shadow shapes that I had looked accurate. And I told her I was planning on breaking it down into all of the cloth folds that you see on the cast and really complicating it to how it actually looks in life. She said that that probably wasn't a good idea because breaking things down into really small little pieces would be hard to transfer. So on Wednesday I ended up transferring it, and I'm really glad that I transferred it at the stage that I was at, and I didn't complicate it up anymore, because it was actually kind of difficult to get even the simple shapes that I had already on there. So then that first day of the transferring the drawing, I used the shadow color to lay in that wash, which is just like the figure, so I had black, red, but this time I had a lot more yellow in that mixture. And then the next step, just like the figure, I was finding the relationship with the shadow to the background, still correcting the drawing and the structure of the cast all the way through this. And the remainder of the week I spent just on edge quality. And I'm finding that edge quality is so important to make something look really naturalistic, like life, what you're actually looking at. And so on Friday, I ended up staying 2 hours past school hours so I could really finish this stage, make it look as naturalistic as possible with edge quality, and I think I got it to a really solid stage, so it's going to be perfect for me to come in on Monday where I can start adding in the lights. And so I'm going to leave you with this photo. I took a picture at the end of the day when I finished on Friday. You can see my cast with my painting right beside it, so you can see how they compare in this stage right before I add in the lights.